Pakatan Harapan to identify real cause of loss in Semenyih. Malaysians urged to make landscaping a culture. Good evening, thanks for joining us. You're watching the evening edition of News on 2. I'm Jessica Lee. Pakatan Harapan Chairman Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad says the party will conduct a post-mortem very soon to identify the real cause of the coalition's loss in defending the Semenyih seat they won in the 14th general election in May last year. He also did not rule out the cooperation between UMNO and PAS would have been a contributing factor to the loss. Commenting further on the matter, Tun Dr. Mahathir, however, said that PH is not worried about the cooperation, as he was confident the cooperation would only happen during by-elections, where the victory would not bring much meaning.
The last time we won in the 14th election, it was because PAS and UMNO were divided, and therefore they couldn't achieve a good number, and so we won. But if you join PAS and UMNO at the end of that time, our margin is only about 1,000. This time it is 1,900. In a way, we have increased despite PAS and UMNO working together.
He also said that the difference in majority obtained also showed Semenyih voters had changed their mind due to negative perceptions and religious provocations during the campaign period.
And then there are some people who unnecessarily provoke anger among people, like painting the cartoon of the Prophet and all that. All these things doesn't contribute towards the betterment of this country. So we hope that we don't do that kind of thing, because it will just make people very angry.
The PH chairman said this after opening the National Landscape Day at the Botanical Garden in Putrajaya. Tun Dr. Mahathir further noted that while PH would be working towards meeting election pledges, the government also needed time to pay more than 1 trillion ringgit debt left behind by the previous government. The proposed construction of a new health clinic in Semenyih will continue. Health Minister Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said even though the result of the Semenyih state by-election yesterday was not in Pakatan Harapan's favour, the project needs to be implemented to ensure the residents in the area have access to good medical facilities.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Elaborating further, Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli said the Rakyat's health is more important for the ministry, regardless if the area is under the administration of the Pakatan Harapan or the opposition.
Saya yakin kita akan dapat satu lokasi tanah peruntukan daripada kerajaan negeri untuk menjayakan dan merealisasikan apa yang disebutkan oleh calon kami, dan perkara ini tidak ada masalah untuk saya pastikan ia dapat direalisasikan.
The minister said this after launching the rare disease run at a private hospital in Petaling Jaya, Selangor. The Health Ministry previously planned to construct a new health clinic in Semenyih, Selangor to reduce the high volume of patients at the two current clinics in the area.
Committed we are as a government.
On another note, Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli, who is also Parti Amanah Negara or Amanah Strategic Director, said everyone should accept the results of the Semenyih by-election with open heart, and Pakatan Harapan would need to identify their weakness to prepare themselves for the upcoming by-election.
Kita perlu menerima kekalahan ini dengan segala kebertanggungjawabannya. Saya yakin pimpinan Pakatan Harapan akan membuat satu post-mortem dan datang dengan satu persiapan untuk menangani pilihan raya kecil yang seterusnya. Ya, kita mengambil ini sebagai satu cabaran dan adalah mustahak untuk kita memerhatikan dari segi keseluruhannya pendekatan dan perkara yang menjadi penting. Jadi saya yakin kerajaan Pakatan dan Pakatan Harapan akan membuat satu post-mortem.
Coming up after the break, more than 62,000 benefited from Anjong Kasih project. Welcome back. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad wants effort to beautify the landscape around the house, village and towns to become a culture and the interest of society to turn Malaysia into a beautiful garden country. He said Malaysia is bestowed with good weather and fertile soil, which facilitated efforts to plant numerous plants and flowers. And this advantage should be used in the best possible manner to beautify the national landscape.
Saya harap rakyat Malaysia berminat untuk mencantikkan negara Malaysia melalui tanam taman-taman dan sebagainya.
The Premier said this after launching the 2019 National Landscape Day at the Botanic Garden in Putrajaya. In the meantime, Tun Dr. Mahathir also chided the activity of painting graffiti on the walls of buildings with meaningless words which tarnish the view. The National Landscape Day was initiated in 1998 on every 3rd of March, aimed at mobilizing a culture of love for landscaping among the people in line with Core 1 of the National Landscape Policy, namely to popularize love for landscaping. Now, at the same event, Tun Dr. Mahathir also said that the government has paid 200 million ringgit in interest to the main contractor of the East Coast Rail Link or ECRL project. According to the Prime Minister, the interest payment is based on the 55 billion ringgit loan taken from China Communications Construction Company or CCCC as the main contractor of the ECRL. Tun Dr. Mahathir also lamented the fact that the government has to pay 200 million ringgit in 6 months just as interest for the 55 billion ringgit debt committed by the previous government, whereas the money should be used to help the rakyat.
Tiap-tiap 6 bulan nak kena bayar 200 million ringgit kerana Datuk Seri Najib hutang sehingga 55 bilion ringgit. Dan 55 bilion ringgit tu ceritanya ialah nak buat ECRL kereta api di Pantai Timur. Tetapi kita bercakap dengan orang kontraktor Cina ni. Daripada 55 bilion ringgit dia turun 20 bilion ringgit. Tinggal 35 bilion ringgit aja. Bermakna bahawa dia boleh buat dengan harga 35 bilion. Tapi kenapa kontrak ni sampai 55 bilion? Mungkin kerana nak curi duit lah tu.
The National Welfare Foundation or YKN's Anjong Kasih or Temporary Shelter Project, which began in 2006 for patients' family undergoing treatment at government hospitals, has benefited 62,551 people. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail says to date there are 10 YKN Anjong Kasih throughout the country, including the shelter in Pulau Pinang, which began operation on the 9th of January.
Dan 4 lagi buah lagi dalam pembinaan, insya-Allah akan dijangka siap pada tahun ini 2019. Hospital Sultan Bahiyah Kuala Alustar, Hospital Sultanah Aminah Johor Bahru, Hospital Duchess of Kent, Sandakan, Sabah, dan hospital di Melaka.
The Deputy Premier said this after opening Anjong Kasih YKN in Pulau Pinang Hospital in Georgetown. She further noted that the government had allocated 6.9 million ringgit for the overall cost of Anjong Kasih, which also received 1.6 million ringgit in support from corporate social responsibility programs of government-linked companies, corporate companies, and other caring contributors. The Health Ministry will increase allocation to help patients suffering from rare diseases. Its Minister, Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad, says 16 million ringgit was allocated last year for the purpose. Commenting further on the matter, Datuk Seri Zulkifli said around 1 million ringgit is needed to cover the medical cost of a patient suffering from rare diseases for a year.
To increase the budgetary allocation for rare diseases, for 2018 it was 10 million and we have increased it to 16, and in fact on a total count it's almost like 20 million. We respond to this call and request, and it's part of our government to be able to enhance this service, enhance this allocation, and hence bring about an inclusive society that no one should be left behind, however difficult and rare the disease.
He said this after launching the rare disease run at a private hospital in Petaling Jaya, Selangor. A rare disease is a disease that affects a small percentage of the population, partially due to genetics. The Health Ministry has confirmed that 3 children who live in the same house as the 2-year-old toddler in Johor Bahru, believed to have died from diphtheria on the 21st of February, have tested positive for the disease. The ministry said one of them was a 4-year-old sister of the deceased, a 4-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl. The ministry said in a statement that 3 children were treated for the disease and 1 has since been allowed to return home. Apart from this, the ministry noted that 8 other people living in the same house with the deceased did not show any symptoms but were treated with antibiotics as a preventive measure. The ministry said that those treated will be monitored daily at the Johor Bahru District Health Office for 14 days, adding that no new cases have been reported. The death of the toddler, who was not immunized against the disease, saw debate erupt on whether immunization should be made mandatory, prompting Health Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad to announce on February that a law may be tabled in Parliament to make it compulsory. And that's it from us this evening. In our top story, Pakatan Harapan to conduct post-mortem to identify real cause of loss in Semenyih. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Stay tuned to TV2 and have a pleasant evening.